Good morning. Good morning. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I'm going to go ahead and come on early because I have no clue as to when the final walkthrough will happen. And I figure if I do this live before 8:30 a.m. when they normally would show up to work on the house, I could get a live out today. So I hope nobody cares that I'm on super early. I just wanted to go over a few things and talk about some plans I have and just kind of catching you guys up. The official work is done. The floors, hi Janice. The floors have been put down. Hello. The subfloor work on the inside of the house completely done. Under the house, the vapor barrier has been placed under the house. They've closed off all of the vents, and there's a dehumidifier now under our house. So that should stop any more dry rot from happening in our flooring. And the rest of the work that has to be done as far as making this a real livable house again is entirely up to Scott and I. We're going to put the flooring we had in my room here back down. We had just pulled it up and we did damage some boards, but we have so much of this flooring because when we first bought it, we were going to do it over into the kitchen as well. And then we had second thoughts because, kitchens can get really wet with washing and dropping stuff. And this floor is water resistant. It is not waterproof. So we decided we did not want that to be in the kitchen. But anyway, we have a bunch of this. So if we damage more boards, I did damage a board here on the edge because I rolled my chair off. So I've popped the lip off. So somehow we've got to work that board out. We might have to lift the whole run of the boards to get it out, but that's okay. That's just one more we got to do. Scott's going to put rolled linoleum down in the kitchen, and we're also going to buy enough of that to do our front entry just to get a more updated appearance to the house. The hallway where they replaced the floor, we're going to just repair the red oak hardwood that's throughout the house for the most part. Now in the front room, my living room, where they basically took up half of the flooring for the full 20 feet of it, we're going to put down some Bruce pre-finished hardwoods. So once you put it down, you're done. You don't have to sand. You don't have to put a finish on. You don't have to put layer after layer of clear coat on. So that'll be up to us. So the project manager or the gentleman that set us up when he did our inspection and found the dry rot was so bad, they're supposed to come out and just walk through with us. And there's still a pile of 3/4 inch pressure treated lumber in the backyard, because they forgot you can't put pressure treated lumber under hardwoods. So we ended up having to use 1/2 inch just underfloorment, which will be less expensive than the pressure treated, but they're going to pick that up and take it back. And there's also several joists left over that we'll get credited for. So we got to go over the bill again and figure out what's being taken back and what was used instead, and get all that pricing adjustment done. I'm hoping the next day or two we'll see me paying the final $10K plus, and then we'll be done with as far as paying them to do anything. And let's see what else. We passed our electrical inspection. And when you have your electrical box, removed and replaced, the city wants to make sure it was done correctly. So the inspector came out and cleared us. So we're all clear on our electrical update. And the fire department came yesterday. I don't know if this is everywhere, but if you can't go to your local fire department's website and see if they have a smoke and carbon monoxide program, because if they do, it's through the Red Cross, and they'll send some firemen out with a fire truck, and they'll install smoke detectors and a carbon monoxide detector if you have gas inside your house. And they did that yesterday. So I have 5 brand new smoke detectors. We only had 1 smoke detector in this house, and you're supposed to have 1 in every bedroom, 1 so many feet from your kitchen, and 1 in the hallway. They did not put 1 in the hallway, but 1 in each of the 3 bedrooms. They replaced the one we had in the front room because it had aged out. Really, it still worked, but it was from 1996, and they took it down and said we shouldn't use it. And then I made them put 1 out in the bonus room because Greg sleeps out there with his cats. So we have 5 new smoke alarms, so we're safe now. And the fireman's eyes went up. That's the only one you had? Yep, that's the only one we had. And so let's see, what else has occurred? I've started cleaning all of the fabric I had pre-washed that was just kind of stacked around in this room. I had to run it through the washing machine again because it had that fine reddish dirt that they kicked up from cutting up hardwood floors, and then the dust from under the house that got blown everywhere because the one vent was loose that Greg labeled a sandworm. My son is a crack up. So I washed that. I washed my sewing machine cover, and I've just started wiping everything down. I'm still seeing dust everywhere, but I'm taking it one little step at a time. This morning I did the kitchen window because I had to repot my Albert Einstein plant because it had grown really tall, and then it had bent off. The reason I call it Albert Einstein is that's the pot it was in. It's a head of Albert Einstein. So I've put it in a larger pot. It's one of those succulents you can break off and just lay on dirt and it'll root itself. So I've put it in a thrifted pot that I got, a yellow thrifted pot, and we'll see if any of them take. What else? Cleaned the window off, cleaned everything that normally hangs on the window, and just like one little area a day I'm working on, because if I try to push myself like I used to, I'm already exhausted from this whole stress of this thing. So if I pushed, it would be bad. But good morning, Kathy, Lala, Peg, Miss Lennox, Janice, and I think that's everybody. So I was going to go over my idea book. I just chunk all sorts of stuff in this. I guess you could consider it a society for creative ideas, or like Dee Dee does. But mine's more of if it's something I've made, like I've got pictures of Project Dress a Girl in here. It's just things I want to keep. And I keep my fortunes. And I'll just randomly put these in here from the Chinese restaurant. It says to be great is to be misunderstood. So Piper wants in. Greg should be through to go to the shower. So I'm going to put some tape on the back of this fortune I came across. And I'm just going to stick it in here somewhere randomly. But I'm going to do kind of a flip through of some of the pages in here. Now, I made this according to the book that I sent to Mary as a gift. It's by Arne and Carlos. It's called The Idea Book. And I made this. This fabric here is a piece of drop cloth that Gina Aaron sent me. And I just used it. I didn't get it on quite straight. I worried about this being straight on the front and the back, but the fabric wasn't straight. But it's okay. And the method they use, you create a bunch of tiny signatures that you put together there, and you sew them together on your sewing machine. It's quite an intrigue. So like this is the new shower curtain for the new bathroom. I threw that in here. Here's some of the fortunes I've kept. That's about the Hope for Women Dress a Girl. That's their little print off they send you when you buy labels from them. And these were parts off my drop paper. I need to get a refill for my Xyron so I can turn these into stickers. They're just little doodle people and things that I thought I'd keep. Let me see if I can move a little bit of this light off, so we're not quite as bright. I am under the biggest light ever. And Make Your Own Idea book with Arne and Carlos. And I finished the cover on January 25th, 2022. I had made the book pages and put them together in 2021 now to fill it up. So this has been around a while. It's still not full. So I put quotes I like. This is actually a mandala that I drew. I did this. And I love this ad. It says, "Cats do less, be like cats." And then I've just got, there's some information, learn together stuff on my channel with Carol when she had the magical touch. She's now just Carol McDonald. And there's the recipe for homemade texture paste. More quotes. Useful bag ideas. I love this. I see this all the time on Pinterest. And I'd like to make a little bag, but I don't wear a belt, so I just think it's cute. This is when Scott and I went to see Downton Abbey in the theater. This was a stamp I created, and I stamped out, and this I used embossing powder on. But see, I drew it, and then I turned it into a rubber stamp. This was the crazy owl that started all of those projects. And then we did an owl, and I drew a pattern based on this picture. We did a bunch of owls together. These are my cats, Howie, Tippy, and Callie. Did these drawings with Dee Dee. What's this one? This is a longevity list of how Blue Zone residents don't need a fountain of youth. They practice these habits. These are all habits to have a longer, healthier life. Tamara Laporte, I did her little class, and this was my image of her class. So this is one she did, and I did it in black and white. And these were all little tiny pictures of Howard. Making a tote and placemat. Quilt ideas I like. Janet Nash's prompts. I have several pages of Janet Nash's prompts. There's actually 55 of them. These are inspirational quotes for my rock painting of positive quotes. More positive quotes. I love this image of the Adirondack chairs painted in all the different colors. I don't think I could physically get out of an Adirondack chair anymore because they lean too far back. And with my back and neck issues, I'd have to come up with a different form of chair to paint different colors. I love this idea. This is slats of wood that they've done painted with, like, I think it was milk paint, and then sanded it a little bit. And then all the images are just napkins they put on there. And I want to do this on my next bookcase that I create. And so that's an idea that I'm going to put to use. More quotes for my rocks. Porch ideas that I like. This was our second owl we did. I love these stitched chickens. Little birds, I mean. Love this cabinet. This is the kind of cabinet I want Scott to build me to hold the potatoes, the onions, and excess overstock of coffee, that kind of thing, on one side, but I want two separate doors because on the other side, I want to put the pet food. Bookcases, Project Dress a Girl, living room idea, positive things, projects and plans to start for 2023. You see one's colored off. Yeah, I'm no good at planning. Did this cover with Anne, and I use it to keep track of sewing patterns I'd like to buy, more quotes, images. I love this as an idea. I Spy quilt. It's large images and they stitch them together very visibly. They put some embroidery on it that's very visible. More Janet Nash prompts. This was a postcard I picked up at the South Carolina Welcome Center. It's an ad for the Palmetto Moonshine, South Carolina's first legal moonshine corn whiskey. It's 52.5% alcohol per volume. It's 105 proof. This was a gift from Mary. It was some scissors. This was an image I saved from the bins. It was just really pretty, and it's got this couple walking together. I don't know who they are or anything, but I love the image. Positive words. A sweater I'd love to make. Some of my weird found relatives. This was the cat bed that I made that I ended up taking apart because my cats weren't interested. Just a lot of positive imagery. I do have a couple pages that got some negative stuff on it that I need to paint out. I love this pantry idea. It's like in the corner of the room, they put just this little bank of walls, and then it's got a top up here where you could do a display, but then it's got like a regular door that you can walk in, and it's lined with shelves. So you can put your like huge pots. Hi, Safia. Canned items, that kind of thing. And I just love that idea. We could actually do that in our kitchen. It wouldn't be that lovely and large, but we could do that in the corner. And I could get the canned goods out of the cabinets. But our house is functional. These were cupcakes I made and took to my sister's cookout in 2022. These were some rechargeable lighted crochet hooks that I got from Bridget. She was doing an online birthday party. Bathroom ideas that I love. I love that they have the wallpaper on one wall in there. That's very English, I think. This was a gift. Tunisian crochet hooks from Joyce. Joyce sent me some beautiful Tunisian crochet hooks. And then Gloria sent me a link this morning to a really cool Tunisian stitch, and I shared it in my Facebook group. So if you guys want to see it, I just thought this was a cute little outfit. It's just random stuff I've shoved in here. I love the idea of doing, what are they called? Vignettes of like photos in similar color schemes. I love how that looks. This is a sewing themed wreath. I did this hairstyle once on myself. Some more of the buy similar photos, put them together. These are all floral prints, but the frames are all different, but the prints pull it together. This is some tiny mandalas that I did over and over. Quotes. I would love to do these little, like, these are tiny. It looks huge on here, but that is a bead. And I can't find the cat heads or little heads anymore. but I would love to do this and create tiny little charm people. This is a square of fabric with some fussy cut little pieces of extra fabric with some stitching on it, all different sorts of stitching. This is some wire that's been coiled and flattened. And then they have wire for the arms. And then they did beaded bits for the legs. This is something else I'd love to do, a patchy kitty cat. I might draw the pattern up for that, looking at the picture. Gardening ideas. I mean, I just throw whatever I've come across. These were the Project Dresser Girls from 2024. These are the ones I made last year. I made 12 dresses. This is from Jill. Fiber Floozy. This was a picture that Deb Farrell's granddaughter took when they were in Mexico this year, 11/20/24. Photo taken by Deb Farrell's granddaughter while they were in Mexico. She took it while snorkeling. I love this island idea. If I had a huge kitchen, it would be great, but I've determined with us having the floors done, I had to move some things to the center of the kitchen, and man, all that stuff was in my way constantly. That's Cole. That's my son's black cat. This is a quilt that I really liked. Dee Dee made me a bookmark. What's our quote here? Our little thing here. Oh, let's put this on Cole. To be great is to be misunderstood. Maybe Cole's just misunderstood. We call him Cole the a-hole because he comes in and he starts crap with the other cats. He comes in from the bonus room, rah, rah, and he's like in their face. I'm going to put this on here whether this sticker wants to come off. I'm sorry I'm getting such a glare. It wouldn't be so bad if the sun would hurry up and get up in the sky. Callie's like, I wish you'd just be quiet. She's in her basket here. Oh, the cats are so happy to have their basket time back and time in the recliner. Greg better get moving. Because he was late yesterday. There we go. To be great is to be misunderstood. That takes care of that little bit I found. Little bits on your desk are good to shove in these books too. That was a doodle I did. I do. I suffer from MPD, multiple project disorder. Let me tell you, that's going to be one of my goals. That bin of unfinished things, I'm going to start pulling one of those out a week once I get my room back. I'd love to start right now. I'm itching to get sewing. This is a tag from Lisa Conway, and I just added a little pocket so I could tuck it in there. And I came across this paper clip thingamabob. Here he comes. Good morning, Greg. So I'm going to stick that on there. There we go. This is a postcard I did along with Mary. Stuck that in here. And see, I still have lots of room. I love this fence idea. They used recycled pallets, and they cut the things to different lengths and made a heart fence. I just love that. I just recently took this off the wall. I had it over there. I said, I can't clean my sewing room because I get distracted by all the good stuff I find again. That goes for anything creative. And this book was made of scrapbook paper that I thought I would never use in anything else. It's got regular notebook paper, but the lines go in the wrong way. Hi, Heather. This was a mandala that I did. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadows in what sunflowers do. Okay. Random quotes shoved in. And if I come across a piece of paper that I really just would like to go away, I just cover it up totally. You've changed. We're supposed to. I'm getting toward the back of the book where there's not quite as much stuff. But these idea books are fun to make. This was a tag I did. And let's see.
Don't mean to interrupt, but I called off work today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
Okay. I didn't realize. I just had been hearing your alarm since about 6:30.
Gotcha. Hey, good time.
All right. I'll talk with you later when you're fully conscious. A philocalist, a lover of beauty, someone who finds and appreciates beauty in all things. This was a stamped image someone sent me and I colored in. She needs more work, I think. But yeah, skip if you're easily offended. Gifts from my son, Greg. Yeah, we're not going to share that on here. So again, random papers that I probably wouldn't have used anywhere else ended up in here. And this is a postcard from Ian. Some amigurumis patterns that I picked up in the store, and that is what I have there. Now this I may have shoved in here, but I came across my hi Sandra, my book that says I'm an incredible hooker or something like that. It's for my crochet projects. I'm going to put this in that book so I can find it. But I rescued that from the bins. It's a pretty pastel. Probably not going to do it anytime soon because of the hexagon Afghan. I believe I did last year, if you guys remember that one. So that'll get set aside to get put into that other book. So let me set these aside. And let's see, what else do we have? All right, Scott and I went to Goodwill. I think it was over the weekend, and I asked him, I said, can we please stop in this shop called Pop Shelf? I love Pop Shelf. Don't ask me why. I find it invigorating with all the different colors and themes and stuff. But they sell art supplies and household stuff, food items. They sell a little of everything. But when we were at Goodwill, I found two patterns, and the color of the day for non-clothing items was yellow, and I didn't realize that. I forgot to look at the big sign at the front of the store that tells you which ones are half off. So I got these for 50 cents each instead of 99 cents. But I got this little jumper. This is what Americans call jumpers. And in UK, a jumper is a sweater like I'm wearing here. And yeah, there's different terminologies for different places in the world, that's for sure. But a jumper to me is a dress that you wear over a t-shirt. So like you have to wear a t-shirt under this because the armholes come down so low. You couldn't wear this just as a sundress. You have to have a t-shirt on. But I think I'd like the shorter length with the pockets. And I noticed they didn't put the pockets on the shorter lengths, which I find weird. Now, I would also do the V-neck versions, not the rounded ones, because the V-neck is very slimming on somebody that's got a fuller figure or neckline. And so I would make the blue dress with the green the pockets from the green dress. But because I'm going to make the V-neck, I don't think I'll need to put buttons down the back, which I've never understood that concept of the buttons down the back. Oh, and it includes the t-shirt pattern is in here as well. So I could make the whole outfit there, 50 cents. And then I got this one also for 50 cents. I need to check. I didn't check my Trello account that I have on my phone where I keep track of my patterns. So if I have either of these already, it's fine. I blew $1. Woo! I could give them away. But I like this. It's a pretty simple top. It's just got elastic in the neckline. So that's what I got at the Goodwill. Those I need to check and see if I have them. And if I don't, I need to scan them into my Trello. At Pop Shelf, I got this Royal Lenicle. These are metallic paints. And I thought how fun it would be to paint with metallic paints. I think I paid $5 for this set. Is there anything interesting on the packaging? No. Boop. Not keeping packaging. Not going to do it. Do y'all remember my hexagon blanket? I would show it to you, but it's in the back. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8, a dozen metallic colors. So I might swatch these out later. I might not do it now. I'm not prepared to do that, so I'm not going to, but I just thought I'd share them. And if you have a Pop Shelf next to you, you might want to swing in there if you have an inkling for something new. And this arrived. Thank you, Heather. So I think I'm going to wait until February, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my Christmas journal up for the 2024 Christmas season. So I have it already made, and it can join the other ones in the closet. So I've got everybody's Christmas card in this bottom drawer of this cutting table. And I'll stick Heather's in there too. Let me get a sip of something. Scott's, excuse me. So Scott had a Peppa Pig calendar that we picked up at the dollar store, and I didn't want to just throw it out. So I said, I'm going to use your Peppa Pig and make envelopes. So I've made Peppa Pig envelopes. I may cover them in packing tape when I mail them because it's Dollar General stuff. So it's kind of thin, and I'm afraid it'll tear on the edge, as it's moving through the mail. But I just thought they turned out cute. And what I'm going to do is I'll put the address label on the back, and I have stuffed these with just some random bits from the desk. And I was thinking I'd do a giveaway and give these away. And just keep in mind, it will have packing tape on it when it gets to you. So I love to make envelopes like that. So if you'll come back and leave a comment on this video when we're done, tomorrow I'll pull some names for the envelopes. Now, Scott got me these for Christmas, the Charvin Paris water-soluble pastel painting sticks. And I searched on YouTube for these. And I came across a couple people, showing how to use them and suggestions they had and things. So this is another thing I want to swatch out. And I might do it with you all once I get settled. So I might have a day where we're just swatching things. I need to look in my stash of books below. What did I say? Well, but on the videos, they said use acrylic, I think it was acrylic bristle brushes. And then I said, well, let me go to Amazon and I'll check for brushes to use with pastels. So that's what I did. So I kind of ordered 3 sets, and I was going to share those with you. I was going to open them and take them out of their packaging and share them with you. These are pastel smooth, watercolor, and oil painting. I'm going to use these sets of brushes to use only with my pastels. So I'm going to make a pouch to hold these brushes. And I'm going to use the fabric. Let me show you that real quick while I'm thinking about it. Because if I don't, I'll forget to show you. And like I said earlier, I had to rewash everything. This was a remnant that I picked up. I'm going to make a pouch out of this. And I think I'm going to get some kind of vinyl for the lining of it. I need to go by Joann's, check the remnant bin and see if there's any vinyl in there. Anytime I can save a little bit more, I will. Depending on if I hear from the guys today at all, I might run over to Joann's and look for a piece of vinyl, because I do want to make about a 12-inch by 4-inch pouch. We'll see. But anyway, this was the first set. What I can do is I can come back and I can put links. This is an actual pouch I could use. Isn't it pretty fabric? And I got it for next to nothing in the remnant bin. But I think I'd prefer a handmade pouch over this that seems impossible to open. So we're going to just throw this in the trash. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all the trash. But these, you know, you could and not get. My technique for pastels is to use my finger. But I saw these and I thought, oh, and they're in different sizes. And they're just almost like a stenciling brush, like that. But if you did circles, I could see that blending really well. And let me see if they say the name. Stianart, Stianart. I'll go to my my orders and get the links for these. And then this is another one. This one's a snap pouch. I can't seem to get them out. This one, Transon art brushes. I might keep that because it tells you how to get started with your brushes. But you can see this one, I think that's called a filbert, the one with the rounded corners. This is an angled here. Sorry for the crinkling. This one's a flat. This is a flat. So you got 2 flats, an angle, and a filbert. So far, I guessed right. I didn't realize it was written on the side. And then this one is a round, and it's got the little plastic cover on the end because it's small. And you like to keep your round brushes. There we go. So that was a nice set, and you get 2, 4, 6 in that, and the other package was just 3. And then this one, I think it was this one, came by itself, and I think it came straight from China because it took forever to get here. Pastel smoothies that are stiff. So this one's really soft. These are stiff. Sorry for the crinkles. We'll get rid of that. I try to get rid of the trash as soon as it gets in my house. Made from a combination of bristle and nylon hair for deep blending on very rough surfaces and to remove hard edges, cleans easily with soap and water. So Yeah, see, this one's really stiff compared to this one. See, this one's flip floppy. This one's not. So this one's actually more like a stencil brush than that one. So these are what I got to play with my new pastels with. And I told Scott, I said, I'm going to order some brushes. And I don't think I need to keep this. I'm just going to wait and pitch those. So I got those. And I'll put a link to these. I don't have an affiliate link at all, but I do want to make them their own pouch. So I always keep them separate. Anti-caffeine crafts. Well, these I'm not using with paint. I'm going to use with pastels. They're technically pastel brushes according to my search on Amazon. And these pastels, I bought these because of Barb Owen. She was showing them, and they're water-soluble pastel sticks that are pure pigment, light, fast pastel painting sticks for wet and dry. So you can use these in a number of ways to get different results. And there's, I think, 48 colors. I think I showed these the other day, but I'll show them again for anybody that's new. And this was the whole reason I bought all these new brushes, is I want to use my pastels more this year. I know Dee Dee is really great with her pastels. So, and I know it takes practice. So I want to make a concerted effort to get more practice in with my pastels. And I love the box for this. It's just so nice. Keeps them from getting broken. I was also gifted the big set of Prisma pastel sticks from Renee a few years back. And so that's another reason I want to use the supplies I already have and, practice until I get good at it. And I remember I used to love pastels when I was in elementary school. But, I grew up on a dairy farm where, we were scraping by. You don't get a lot for your milk. And we grew our own vegetables and that kind of thing. There wasn't money for art supplies, basically. I do everything. If sometimes I say I do everything, but there are things I have tried that I don't want to revisit. And knitting was one of those, but I'm coming around to knitting. But anyway, at Christmas time, I ordered these, and they didn't come in till like a few days before Christmas. So I had zero time to use them. But I'm going to put these with my dies. Again, made in China. That's why it took so long. But they're different size triangles. And next year's Christmas card, I'm thinking of doing painty paper trees, like do some different greens, and just cut out different triangles and have a grouping of trees on my card. I'm going to do real simple cards next year, I think. This is what I'm thinking now. But I wanted to share that I got these triangles off Amazon, which I thought instant trees. That's what I was thinking. Instant trees. So that was something else. I think I've come to the end of what I was going to share this morning. Oh, I did make something yesterday that I wanted to share. I wanted a basket for my crochet cottons because I want to make up some crochet small flowers for my slow stitching endeavors, flowers and hearts. So I've got that. I pulled that skein out, and I came across my anti-fatigue gloves. These do help when you're crocheting. They look kind of chintzy and cheesy, and I can put the link to those too. And then I pulled out this green. I got to thinking I could develop a leaf to go with the flowers, and then just some other colors to make flowers and stuff out of. These really cool colors I think I picked up at Hobby Lobby. But to hold those, I made this yesterday out of scraps of my chunky yarn. And I just held two together and I made this up and I wanted it to come in more. So on one round, I did decreases at every fourth of the bag. So that's why it comes up and kind of closes. And then when I was cleaning, I found a little heart I had made. So I just tied it on here. And I did give it handles. I like to have the handles for two reasons. It makes it easy to carry. And then if Becky's in her recliner and she's been crocheting and she gets tired, you can take your glasses off and you can slide it in the handle like that. And that way they're out of sight of the kitty cats. So yeah, that's why I like handles. So, and if I put these back in here, it is a tight fit because these are nearly full, but this is yarn, so it stretches out. There you go. So there's that 4, and then this one can just lay on top. So now I just need to put a hook with this, and I can tote this wherever I'm sitting. And oh, is it Esty? They're so easy. All right, for a worsted weight, I'll tell you, this is the chunky, and I used a PQ, this great big honker. But if you're using just 2 strands of worsted, I would use like a size L. And basically what you do to make a basket is you start just like you would to make a hat, okay? And you just keep making it, doing your increases. So as you're working around, you do your increases just like you would for making a hat. And when you get to the diameter you want, then you just start doing whatever stitches you want around and around. I do, when I'm making a basket, I do use a stitch marker to always mark my first stitch. And then when I get around there and I make the first stitch, I move my marker up to that first stitch and then work around. And then that marker just follows you as you go up the basket. And once you get the diameter you want, then you just work the sides up. Now, I wanted my basket to come in some. So about the second row or third row of starting up the sides, because as soon as you stop increasing and you just start working just a single crochet, basically, we'll just say single crochet. You start working the single crochet around, it'll start bringing your sides up. If you want it to come in, you have to do a decrease stitch. And what I would do is when you've got your basket and it doesn't have anything in it, flatten your bag so that the two sides meet and just put you a marker there and then fold it again so those markers are just on the edges and mark the center in the opposite direction. Here, I'll show you what I mean. This way you get your decreases at the fours. So like say the handles are 1. So if I took and I put the 2 handles together or the 2 sides here, mark dead center. And then you could mark this dead center. And to verify it, you could put them together like that. And then these markers should be on the outside edge. So when you got to those markers, you would know that's where you need to do your decrease to start bringing your bag in more. And once you do that and you've decreased the stitches, you're decreasing 4 stitches that way. Then your bag will start coming in more. And I just really loved how this one turned out. This was just little bits of, I don't even remember how many yarns I used, but you can see I switched from these 2 to these 2, and then I mixed it up, and whatever I felt like grabbing, I did. So baskets are super easy. And once you get started making them, it's hard to stop. And then you end up giving them to people that might not like baskets, but they think they're cool too. They make great small project bags too, or baskets. And they sit nice. This could sit on the floor next to my recliner, which it probably will. And then it can move up to the little side table I have. I need to put this somewhere. I'm getting rid of my glass bottles, the small glass bottles that I had buttons and things in. So I had a bunch of these. And what I found is they take up too much room. And it becomes dangerous when the cats decide to jump in that area. You hear all kinds of glass moving. So Joann's was doing a sale on the divided storage, but they didn't carry this one in and in the store. So I ordered it and had it delivered, and I put my buttons in here, and I've divided them by colors. And then I tried to divide a little bit by shape. And these are 2-hole, these are 4-hole, and then I've got like shaped ones in here, huge ones, and then the ones that have the the little hook on the back. And I've divided those up so I can easily say, okay, I need so many buttons for this or that. It also would be fun to make a project using all buttons. Now, Janet Nash, she did a heart yesterday with buttons, and it turned out so pretty. So here's and I was going to put warm colors in one and cool colors in another, but I had more warm colored buttons, so I had to take a section of this out. And these do pull out if you want to make the little squares bigger, but I liked how many options I had to put the buttons in. And then in those glass dishes that I had, there was more than just buttons in there. So there are some buttons in this case here. The purple buttons made it in here. But then there was these little flowers, and then you're supposed to take one of these centers and put it in there like that, and you make a little flower as an embellishment. These are not sew on. These would have to be glued onto a project. But I have all that kind of stuff, and then just random, like I have a yellow dice that was just in the yellow dice. And which makes me think, you know what I could do is I could number my unfinished projects and then just roll a dice. Might keep that out to roll a dice. Might number my unfinished projects that I have in there. So that's what I did last night while Scott was watching videos and the things that interest him. And I like that these have the place where they set into each other so they don't shiver and shake and carry on. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to take up less space. I adore the jars. I love how they look over there. But the other day, Howard of all of them, he jumped up there. And oh my gosh, a 16-pound cat hitting all that glass. Oh, yeah. Now, some of the jars I am keeping because they're so flippin' cool. And these I've cleaned already. And I went through my washi tape, and anything that was sticking to itself or had lost its stickum, I got rid of. No, he didn't break a thing. It just made a ton of noise. I put my washi tapes in here. These are all the kind of greenish tones, and then these are more of the browns and pinks. But this one is an old, it was for tongue depressors in a doctor's office. And I've got another one somewhere that was the thermometer jar. But these I will put on my desk when I get it in here. So I'll have these more readily available, because that's what I'm finding is I need to get my supplies where they're easier at hand. So that's what I'm going to do with these, is just have them on the desk so I'll use them. And I've gone through the Bits and Bobs binder has now become the Bits and Bob huge basket. And so, yeah, this has got some napkins in it, words and quotes, and then it's got by color the Bits and Bobs. And I also shoved in here different journal projects. Like I've got, I think my black and white journal is in here. And I've got a couple journals that are started in there. So I'm slowly making my way through these. I got rid of a bunch of rubber stamps that I never used. And so I now have one empty in the fridge glass organizer, not glass, acrylic. So I have that as an option to put stuff in. What else have I been doing? I think that's about it. So I guess I will let you guys go. Don't really have much else to share. We'll come up here and chit chat for a minute. Excuse my hair. Excuse the vacuum in the back. Excuse all the mess. But you can see my lovely new subfloor that doesn't give under your feet. And we can walk in this hallway over here, and that's the HVAC that goes out to the other room. But right in front of that closet in the hallway, the floor would go and it would give. And the poor guy from the remodeling company, he would tiptoe across there. He was afraid it would give way with him. Oh, thank you, Lala. It's growing out, and I'm trying to determine if I want to let it grow out and do a ponytail again or just keep it short. So I don't know. We'll see. When it gets to 110 degrees, I'll let you know if the hair survives it. I do have plans for a big garden this year. In fact, I need to pick some things up for that as well. I'd love to lay a piece of, I have a tarp, and I thought about just putting the tarp down and put bricks on it to kill the grass and weed seeds. Scott does have garlic planted out there. He planted a bunch, but not a lot of it came up this time, but that's okay. We have so much garlic, you know. So jelly of my hair. My grandma always wanted white hair, and she said that she got that blue-gray hair, and she hated it. But I loved my grandma's hair. Aw, thanks, Lala. I went gray, started going gray in my 20s. It's genetic from my biological father's side. Apparently, I found out. It's very interesting. The things you find out when you do ancestry, if you don't want to really know the truth of your history, don't do it. Yeah, mine's very white. It reflects everything. Oh, Janet Nash, I found the color. It was in here. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to, instead of the hallway getting painted I'm painting this room and the kitchen, the little eating area. It's got a section of wall in there. And I'm just going to paint it and all of this, except for the chimney. We're going to paint it a different color. I'm not sure what. But this is the kind of green gray. It's called Retreat. And that's what I'm going to paint everything in here. So instead of being this color in here right now is called smoked tan. Everybody thinks it's gray, but it's actually a tan. But I'm going to put this Retreat, which is this green. And I think that that would like be very soothing. It's still on the grayish, but it's got a green tinge to it that I like. And it would go with my curtains that I had made years ago. So that's what I have. And I'm saying so a lot. So that means I probably should like go. Let's see. Oh, Lala, I had an Aunt Carol, and we never knew when Aunt Carol and Uncle Bert came over, we never knew what she was going to have done. And one time she showed up with dark black with 2 white strips, just like a skunk. She looked just like a skunk. And that was when I was real little, before they got divorced. But we never knew. One time she was a blonde, one time a redhead. Yeah, I found out she died of a brain cancer. Kind of lost touch after her and my Uncle Bert got divorced because she moved away. Let's see. And do y'all remember when we frosted our hair, late 70s? Everybody was frosting their hair. If I'd only known. Hi, Zenjen. Yeah, I'm coming on early today because I don't know when they're going to come to do a walkthrough, and I think they're bringing the city inspector again to do a walkthrough to prove that they did everything they said. I don't know, and they were going to pick up the excess supplies, and it's already 8, so that's another good reason for me to get off, because if they're going to stop by, it'll be shortly. Yeah. Yeah. Getting your hair cut is very empowering when you feel like things are going all askew. I understand. All right. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. But you just got to switch to something else if you don't really want to go get your hair cut. So, yeah. Well, we passed the electrical inspection yesterday. So today it's just a matter of they'll peek under the house and say, yep, vapor barrier's down. You're good to go. Floor's in. So we'll see how it goes. So thank you guys for joining me this morning. And I know Ann said she's not coming on today because she has her friends in town. Just putting that out there so you guys won't be looking for her at noon. All right. Bye, guys.